as fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area Adjusted and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
It's here. The Ford, it's a big deal. Not yet. The Ford, it's a big deal. Oh, guys, just wait. The Ford, it's a big deal event is on. Really? Now. Hurry in to lease a 2026 F-150 STX with black adherence package from $237 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 36 months with $54.90 down. That's like $119 a week. The Ford, it's a big deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Go check him out. It's game day. Trent's not there, but say hello to his fantastic staff and pick up a bag or two. It's too bad Trent's not there. You could talk to him about the NFL draft last night. The Dallas Cowboys, they knocked it out of the park. I got to give them some credit. And then it was just being patient, waiting for the draft to come to you, a thing that, can be a bit of a lost start for a safety. Maybe it's one of those positions where it's going to work out okay. But the Dallas Cowboys last night, great value. Caleb Downs at 11. We'll talk NFL draft, get your thoughts on what your teams did. We'll also talk about Game 3, Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, as I know them. 8 o'clock, puck drop, give or take. That means pregame coverage coming your way at 6 o'clock with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. Gregor's going to be live down at On the Rocks if you're looking for a place to go watch the game tonight. Lowtide's going to be here. It's going to be lots of Oilers coverage today, but we're going to mix in some NFL today as well, Duke. How are you doing today?
Well, Connor, I'm going to be very frank.
You're not good?
This weather, I hate it. Fed up Friday. I'm fed up with this. I've long been a proponent of, in a world where everything is at your control and you can make things happen, maybe not change the overall outcome, but just give me real winter for another, I'll take 2 weeks in mid-March or whatever the case. Take away those odd, really nice days where temperatures creep to zero throughout December and January. I'm fine dispatching those. But when it's springtime, let it be springtime. We're 2/3. Actually, forget that. We're 5 days away from the end of April, and there's a blizzard outside.
Yeah, you're right.
This isn't uncommon. I get it. I've spent my entire life in Alberta. Till you cross May long weekend, and even then, not necessarily out of the woods, but still, it's just disheartening. It's disappointing. I was looking forward to maybe play some golf this weekend. That's off the table. It's out the door. See you never. I guess we still got hockey.
100%.
We got hockey.
You can sit inside tonight, hunker down, maybe go get some vitamins, get home, maybe some beers, get some snacks, and
beers.
Watch Lightning and Canadians at 5 o'clock. That's been a heck of a series. 2 overtimes, some bad blood brewing. And then you got the Golden Knights and Mammoth. And then, 30 minutes later, Oilers Ducks. So lots to be watching tonight. Round 2 of the NFL draft, the NBA playoffs, Blue Jays kicking off a series with the Guardians of Cleveland. There's a lot going on. Also, I want to give a quick hello to Josh and Mackenzie, the intern. Mackenzie can her mic on. It's her final day with us here as an intern at Sports 1440.
Another one survives the grind.
Mackenzie, what was the biggest thing you learned in your 4 months with us?
Probably just go and do things. Like, don't wait to be asked. And if you want to do something, just do it. And I really had to get over that.
Ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Yeah. Which I never had to ask for forgiveness, really.
No.
So that was good.
Do good work. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's all good. So Mackenzie will be leaving us next week, and then she's going to be back the following week. No worries for the Mackenzie fans. She's going to be doing some social media work with us and helping out running the boards through the summer as well. So if you like Mackenzie's work, make sure you go follow us on social media. You'll see her popping up there, making low tide, do weird dances and stuff like that.
Getting some live on location type action as she did ahead of game number 2 down at Rogers Place. That was great.
A lot of people nailed the Draisaitl prediction.
Wow. It's Leon.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's also McDavid.
They all count the same, even if you bank them in off a defenseman's skate.
100%. They should do that more. The dirty goals are great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the NFL draft for a little bit here because you're a draft geek. I'm a draft geek. I was telling Mackenzie, like, I texted her after Jeremiah Love went to the Cardinals. I'm like, what did Dylan think about that picture? Her boyfriend is a Cards fan. Then I got a migraine. I texted Majot for the Jets. I text all my friends when their team make picks. And yeah, I got a migraine and laid down for the next 12 selections. That's like when you texted me about.
Sorry to bother you during your hard
you're
time.
Like Sadiq to the Chargers. I was like, did we trade up? I'm like scrambling on my phone. My brain's at 30% capacity.
It was at the moment where we'd already seen the Rams pick Simpson, and I think the Rams were a team, whether they trade up or stuck where they were, that could have been on the board for Sadiq. The Buccaneers took Ruben Bain, and all of a sudden I'm like looking at the next few picks: Jets, Lions, Vikings, Panthers. There's a few things in between, and I was like, he could get all the way to the Bolts. And I thought it was possible, and then it was immediately negated as I opened my phone and saw Jordan Schultz.
Yeah, he was on it quick.
He had every pick before they were even registered as in on the TV screen. And I'm streaming, I'm a little bit behind, but still. The Jets make a little bit of a bold move there. I really like their first round. They get 3 guys that each kind of fill an area of need for them. So there were a lot of teams that I thought did very well. There were a few head scratchers as well.
For me, a Fed Up Friday, I hate the insider game, the rush to do this, because teams know like 3 minutes or whatever before. Every insider has a connect. And they just tell them, and it's like, tweet it. And, like the Bucks are on the clock and we're getting the next team's pick. I can't stand it. So I would try to put my phone down as much as possible.
I got to that point with you for sure. But then you're also kind of like wanted to see maybe some live reactions of people about some surprising picks like Ty Simpson going to the Rams that they trade up to make it happen. And you look at it and you say, or excuse me, not trade up. That was the Falcons pick, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, the surprise pick, like, I'd love to see what everyone's saying. And then all of a sudden I'm just getting force-fed the next 4 picks. The next team's not even on the clock yet. I'm like,
Vega went to the Ravens. Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. The Rams pick, we'll get into it. I'll say that about the Rams pick. Like, for me, I couldn't believe it. You go back and you look at the Rams last 2 years. They've lost to the eventual Super Bowl winners. They didn't lose in the NFC Championship 2 years ago. They lost to the Eagles, but they kept it competitive in Philly. Philly then killed the Commanders. The following year, they keep it competitive in Seattle against the eventual Super Bowl winners. And what did they do? They go out there and they get a player who's not going to help you for 3 years. We saw this with the Green Bay Packers when they drafted Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure, was just choked. I've got to think that Matthew Stafford is the same way. Social media tells you that Sean McVay also is quite rattled. This is the best possible landing spot for Ty Simpson. He can sit for a couple years, learn from an offensive guru, and learn from Matthew Stafford, who, by the way, was the NFL MVP last year. And they're finding his replacement. Like, you're telling me Kenyon Sadiq wouldn't have been a boost for your team to help you win a Super Bowl? Because you're right on the cusp. Ruben Bain Jr., Mekhi Lemon out of USC. Heck, Akeem Mesidor, little defensive pressure. Malachi Lawrence, like Dylan Fenneman. Like, there's guys out there, my apologies if I butchered his name, that would have helped you win a Super Bowl potentially this year, and they decide to get a guy who's not going to help you for a couple of years. It's Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers all over again.
Spin zone, Connor. This is the only spin zone I can do, because I can appreciate the Rams being proactive. It's a cliche. We say the best time to draft a quarterback is when you don't need one. Well, that's obviously where the Rams are at. As you said, they have the reigning MVP under center for them. But the Rams in this era, the McVay era, how many times have they actually picked in the first round? once. Was it Jared Verse?
Yeah, he would have been one.
They clearly don't need first-round picks to find good, like Puka Nacua, late-round pick, right? They've got guys like Blake Corum, Kyron Williams. They found impact players elsewhere throughout the draft. Clearly, scouting is a strength of theirs. I think that's fair to say. So they say, we normally don't even have a first-round pick. Let's use this on let's make it essentially a throwaway and have a long-term forecast on, as opposed to right now. We'll get all our immediate help later in the draft like we do every other year.
Yeah, I mean, and that track record has proven fruitful for them in the past. But you're right there. There's a lot of immediate impact players. And the thing is, Ty Simpson, you probably could have traded up to get him. Like, when he was taken, I knew the Chargers were not trading down. Like, okay, no one's going to trade up to get him there. You bring up a good point. Their first-round pick, outside of Verse, you have to go back to Jared Goff in 2016. Before that, Todd Gurley. Impact players worked out pretty good for you. Aaron Donald was a first-round pick. I mean, at 13. Would you like to add a guy like that to your defense potentially? Nah, we're going to get a guy for the future. I get what you're saying, and it's a very fair point. But if I'm a Rams fan, I'm like, what are we doing? We're so close. We're knocking on the door of a Super Bowl. And we have the MVP, who maybe only has a couple good years. Let's get as much as we can out of it. And no, we don't. We go for a guy who will not help us this year.
I'm not condoning what they did. It's not what I would have done. Now, Les Snead's a lot smarter of a guy than I am. He's built this team that is seemingly competitive year in and year out with help from a lot of different elements. But I'm there with you. I'm maybe playing a little devil's advocate and also trying to provide some outside perspective, because I think it's easy to say this is dumb. What are they thinking? Now, to counter that, there's a team that is knocking on the door right now and does not get an immediate impact piece. How about at the top of the draft? We talked about this pretty extensively yesterday. A team that is far away from immediate competitiveness, and they get the immediate impact piece in the Cardinals. Going like it ends up being what everybody thought by the time the draft started. I wasn't convinced, but they do take Jeremiah Love at number 3. I don't have a spin zone on why this makes sense for the Cardinals at this stage. Do you?
Best player available. I guess that would be the spin zone. I don't think they're confident in James Conner at this point of his career. I don't think they're confident in Trey Benson going forward. Tyler Algier, oh my goodness, he's going to steal so many touchdowns potentially here. And Jeremiah Love, to me, I think that's just best player available. Now, I mean, I like the pieces. Like you talk about the triplets, and I know Jacoby Brissett maybe not be the one you're looking at. I think he held out of the optional camp, but you got Jeremiah Love, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, and then you throw Trey McBride. They're building an offense there, but I would agree with you. I thought that, maybe not their biggest position of need, but he's going to be exciting. I mean, he's going to make some plays, but that was an interesting pick. Carnell Tate going 4th overall to the Titans, like the player in our mock draft yesterday. I had him going 5 to the Giants, I think, or was it 10? I think it was 5 going early on. Arvell Reese, great for the Giants. For the Jets, I think it would have been good too. I had a comparison when I was driving home. I was listening to some little streamers talking about it, and they compared David Bailey and Arvell Reese to Hutchinson and Walker with the Jags.
I heard the same one on the TV broadcast.
Oh, yeah. So lots of people were talking about that then. So like Reese would have been the Walker, like, okay, here's the attributes, the upside, where Bailey might be the comparable for Hutchinson, who had the track record.
On paper production, right?
So, yeah, I mean, like that was a fun look. I think the Delane pick by the Chiefs going up to get him, good for their secondary. They needed to do that.
Especially, obviously they move on from McDuffie, who, by the way, is now with those same Rams that we talked about. So
yeah,
they've done things to improve their team. But anyway, yeah, like it seems like a natural succession plan for the Chiefs in their back end.
Ruben Bain, a guy who for a while, top pick, all the way down to the Bucks. What do you think of Kenyon Sadiq? Well, how about the Jets as a whole? So David Bailey, a guy seems like the safe pick. The floor is high. They get Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon, who we just think is an absolute freak. And then they also get Omar Cooper Jr., 30th overall. Number 1 target, I guess, at Indiana. Guy who's a very good player. Like overall, you pair him up with Garrett Wilson for the Jets. And I think the quarterback comes next year. I think that's when they're going to draft the quarterback, or maybe a draft where they like some of the guys a little bit more. But they're kind of building a nice offense around him, especially with Mason Taylor, who that crushes you in fantasy, I believe. But,
yeah, I sent a message to my Dynasty League group chat. We're like, Mason Taylor on the block, no specific reason, really good player. I'm just comfortable with Harold Fannin moving forward. And naturally, the follow up is like nothing to do with Kenyon Sadiq. Question, and who's that? Never heard of him.
Oh, so, that athlete? He's not a football player.
It is like that part maybe makes you a little confused because they invested a mid-round pick in Mason Taylor last year, but we've seen lots of teams go with this 2 tight end type personnel, especially when both are good pass catchers. So I had the Jets, Connor, and in or out this morning with Kevin and Eddie as I think my winner of round number 1. There's several different contenders here. I think the Eagles getting Mekhi Lemon where they did, trading up and basically stealing it right out of the grasp of their state rival Steelers is a great get as a replacement for A.J. Brown. But you get 3 first-round picks that is where the Jets end up here. And all 3 look to be, fill a position of need. And I think there's this value too. We talk about drafting players before, like, the Cardinals, my critique of Jeremiah Love is like, you have so many problems. Listen, the Jets got lots of problems too, especially on defense, but you maybe hope to address that with the add of David Bailey up front. Some more pressure can help out your secondary in turn, but then also get some of these guys that maybe can help you when you want to be competitive. They are experienced when that comes around. So you got a receiver, a pass catching tight end, a year of experience under their belt. Now, when you bring in your rookie quarterback, you don't have an entire offense of rookies all trying to find their footing together. So I like what the Jets did. Their tracker tells us that maybe these guys won't work out, but at least at face value right now, I think it's a very good first evening for the New York Jets.
I would agree. And that's the key. Like when they made the trades that they did, it was all about, okay, right, today they lost their players, but in 3 years, if their first round picks pan out, then they win these deals. Mm-hmm. And that's what we'll have to wait and see. But I did like the selections that they did have. If you wanted to tell me it should have been Arvell Reese over David Bailey, I would listen. That's just preference thing. But I did like the draft that they had. You mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles. We're getting the text in from Triple C in a truck, just the lemon. Mekhi Lemon out of USC, very good receiver. The interaction you're talking about is he was on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers who said, we're going to draft you. He literally, Mekhi Lemon, sitting there on the couch says, why is Philly calling me? When his agent pipes up, they traded. They're drafting you. He finds out he's being drafted by the Eagles while talking to the Steelers general manager. The Steelers obviously have to pivot. They go offensive tackle, but that's got to be one of the craziest draft stories. And if you're a Steelers fan, you can't even boo Lemon the next time they play. He was jacked up to be a Steeler and then just finds out that the Eagles wanted him a little bit more, trade up to that 20 spot with the Dallas Cowboys, a divisional rival. That's an interesting one for the Cowboys. Will it come back to haunt them? Who knows? But I thought that was quite cool. Your Texans taking Keelan Rutledge, I think that's a reach, but you also have a starting guard next year. Yeah, so you got the guy.
It's a plug and play spot, and you and I were texting about it as well, that we kind of alluded about it yesterday during our final mock draft, saying like after I own, like there's not really there's a big gap between the next group of guards, and there's a lot of teams that seem to have that as a position of need going into the draft. So we figured one team would either make a reach, maybe it was in the form of a trade up to make it happen, and that's what we end up seeing here with the Texans jumping up a few spots to get the guy out of Georgia Tech. The positive is he should be a plug and play. The O-line has been a problem in Houston for several years consecutive. To give CJ Stroud the best chance of success, you got to make it easier on him, and this seems like a move that can do that pretty much from day one.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about drafting a guy who's 25. Best players available, MTR. What will the Niners do? That's up next here on Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal. My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Will Hawk Beef Jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Will Hawk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
They're pumped for the playoffs at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge, the place to catch every hit, every goal, every Selly. Not a bad seat in the house. Tons of big screens and a menu with something for everyone from small bites to big bites. Plus, game night food and drink features and Oilers playoff watch parties. Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
The Lawnmower Hospital. You've enjoyed a long winter with your Ego snowblower, but now it's the time to get ready for spring. Bring your summer Ego equipment in for service. Or if you're looking to add to your lawn care fleet with new mowers or trimmers, Ego has a wide selection of products to fit every season. Ego also has the powerful wet-dry vacuum and pressure washer to make your cleaning and lawn care a breeze.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
It's not what you know, it's where you heard it. Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas, exclusively on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
23, welcome back. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Mackenzie McClendon with you here. Her farewell tour for a week. We had a text from Max saying, is Mackenzie signing long-term? I'm willing to trade Donnie P for her to stay.
Ouch. Poor Donovan.
Poor Donovan. Catching stray. He's not even here. Lucas says, great job, Mac. We will miss you. Again, she will be back in May. She's getting a week off. Not paid.
It's going to be May.
Yeah. She'll be back doing socials. She's got big plans for Josh and Declan, doing
the youths
more dances, I think.
You guys too.
Yeah.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I have ideas for you too.
Mackenzie, what are you going to do with your week off? Are you going on a jet set holiday?
Traveling?
Yeah, because I just spent the last 4 months working for free. So I have a lot of spare cash.
In my experience, you need to let your money do the work for you. Investing.
That's what you do?
Yeah, maybe.
No, but I'm not a smart person.
During your practicum, you're just investing?
My practicum, I was playing the stocks every day, day trader.
You were raiding the Oilers Nation fridge.
If I ever actually went to the office, then maybe that would have been the case. But I did work on July 1st, and we got free oodle noodle. That was great. I love oodle noodle.
Oh, me too. When Wanya gave me some gift cards, it was the first time I ever had it.
Wow.
I've gone back since, of course. I don't just eat free things, but it was quite good. King of Four Nasty texting in, guys, I call BS on that last Sports 1440 commercial. No fluff, no fillers. You heard the lowdown with Lowtide? They spend more time talking about Donnie's distaste for T Swift than sports. LOL. Well, it's only on Tuesdays, though, you know?
Sometimes you just got to keep things light. Nobody knows that better than this show.
Yeah. Hey, we're having fun here. It is Oilers game day, and you're going to get Oilers talk for the next 8 hours. But we're going to text about the NFL draft, so we'll kind of roll with that just a little bit here. We did get a few texts regarding the Buffalo Bills. What do we think they're doing? Well, let's get the text from the people. And this segment is brought to you by elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele, Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double football coverage you're going to find out there. And it's only going to ramp up once the season gets going once again. Draft's going to be here in no time. Akeem Messidor, would you draft him? I don't know. He's a good player, but he's an NFL player.
Chargers. They need him. He ain't coming.
He ain't going to Canada. Not for a few years, at least. But go check it out, elksnation.ca. So a couple of things here. Kyle says, you guys think the Bills are looking at Denzel Boston? I'm blown away. They tried it down 3 times last night. I didn't see them going wide receiver, but they just might. And then we also had Slurpy Sean saying, what do you guys think the Bills are doing? I think that trading back at that point of the draft was actually quite smart because, I mean, there was like the guard take by the Texans, we said, maybe a little early. Maybe there's not an edge rush you're comfortable in. But I think there are some nicer pieces when you get into this draft a little bit lower. And the Bills, they don't drop off that far. They're the 3rd pick. I can't see the Cards going wide receiver. They got some nice pieces there. I think maybe you got to attack the line or the defense. Boston could go to the Niners, who have the 1st pick in the draft, 2nd round. That's what I was thinking. And if MTR is listening, I'd like to hear his thoughts on that one too, because that was kind of the direction that I thought they might go. But if he were to go, Boston's a guy who can go high point to football. Other receivers, I don't know. Zechariah Branch out of Georgia. Chris Brazel from Tennessee. I feel like these are all kind of reaches at this point. So there could be that run of receivers midway through the 2nd round. But if I'm the Bills, I don't know about that. I think I'd be kind of Denzel Boston or bust. Jermod McCoy is a very intriguing pick because he missed last year with the torn ACL. And it happened in January. And I've heard reports that he does need another surgery, Duke. We saw this last year. I forget the player's name. It was a corner, though. And it was injury concerns. So if you're willing to take him, Matt Miller's pro comp on Christian Gonzalez for Jermod McCoy.
Pretty good.
We saw how good he was in the playoffs. So you might not have him till, midway through the season. He'd be coming off injury. Heck, maybe you just redshirt him that first year. But he's a player that I think if you're willing to wait, you're going to get the payoff. Avion Terrell is another cornerback out of Clemson who will be ready to play. Cade McDonald, the defensive tackle out of Ohio State. I think we had him in our 1st round, mocked a couple of times. Cassius Howell's an edge out of Texas A&M. People very high on. So there are some nice pieces here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the top pick might be. 16 hours and counting, boys. Lance, the update. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was DMing him on Instagram. Lance has been sitting in a traffic standstill up near Fort McMurray for 16 hours. Stay warm, my friend. What do you even do in that situation? Like, I was always told have a blanket, have warm stuff. But man, food wise, I might be starving if that's me.
Like what? You're stuck. You can't do anything.
No, you can't do anything, literally.
And I always have a pair of gloves, a toque, a little blanket, like in the back of my. I'm not just like cracking around emergency reserve of rations. Maybe I should. Stuff like this kind of opens your eyes to things like that occasionally when when things can really take a turn for the worse. But man, I'd be jonesing for a little snack.
Yeah. That'd be like, and Lance is telling me like he's wearing all the clothes to stay warm and then kind of trying to conserve your gas.
Yeah, you can't leave your vehicle running for 13 hours straight.
Crazy. Well, Lance, we're thinking of you. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we can be a little bit of a distraction. Great pick last night by the Raiders. Fernando Mendoza. Would you start him next year? There was a little bet in my group chat, $50 worth. One of my friends says
week 1.
He says he starts week 1. Injury is the kind of the X factor. If it's injury, it doesn't count. The other says no. The Raiders fan says no.
Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins is rolling out week 1.
That's what I would do. And it would be bye week, or if we get to a point in the season where it's like they're 1-10.
Yeah.
Let's get him out there and see what he can do.
My favorite part of the draft was Renegade.
That was cool. Really catered it to the Steelers. Chargers pick came right after. It felt like it was just a blip on the radar.
Total letdown spot.
16 hours. What do you got to go to the bathroom? Then King of Fort Nasty says.
Well, you can get, like, you're not moving, so you can get out and take a leak. And I mean, when you got to go number 2, it gets a little dicier. How brave you are, I suppose, and go into the ditch. But just taking a leak, I think you'd make out okay.
Tater just rolled in. You okay, Tater? You ran right into the wall.
Hammering off the walls. Or this guy's causing a ruckus.
Oh, man. Jay Allen throws INTs in the offseason from Triple C in a truck. Buffalo's year was last year. It's all downhill. Yeah, maybe. I think that the Patriots are due for a fall off. They got some crazy distractions going on there with their head coach as well, who's going to miss day 3 of the draft. Man, if you're on Twitter right now, the things people are finding, dude, you said it best. Diana Rossini should have deleted her account. They're finding old tweets that are like connecting the things together here. People have strings on maps trying to figure out where she was on these days. It's nuts. Kyle says, unless Kirk Cousins plays himself out of position, it'll be Kirk O'Chains. I would agree with you. Like, there's absolutely no rush to get Fernando Mendoza out there. Starting him in day 1, I just don't think it'd be a great move. The Raiders should do it a little bit slower here, I think. Make sure their offensive line holds up, and then get him out there. And then, let him sling it. But to start the season, you brought in Kirk Cousins for a reason. Let him potentially take the hits. I'm curious to see how the schedule plays out. Like, if you had that tough schedule, tough defenses early on in the year, yeah, sorry, Kurt, you're taking the bullets from this one, and we're going to let Mendoza out there when it gets a little bit easier. Triple C in a truck says Pats had the easiest schedule last year. Well, yeah, I mean, I was quite the Pats naysayer. I did not believe in that team from the start. They scared me. They had a pretty good run in the playoffs, the postseason. Got fortunate, obviously, with the Denver Broncos not having Bo Nix, playoff Herbo, and second-round Stroud. The Saints were the real deal. And we saw who's the top team. And that it takes me back to the Rams, who just barely lost to them. And instead of giving like a top player on your team, a guy who can contribute, they get a player for the future. In a few years, we'll love it. Probably the way Packers fans are happy with Jordan Love, I think. But right now, just asking questions. Now, Duke, I want to ask you and get your thoughts, because the Chargers selected a 25-year-old out of Miami, played 6 years of college football, Canadian from Ontario.
The 5th Canadian ever to go in the first round, maybe 6th, depending how you classify Keel Harry.
Yeah, I think
Toronto-born, but American trained essentially.
He had a cool story on TSN about like growing up in Ontario, playing football there. Obviously, gets recruited, plays for a little bit. Was it West Virginia? And then goes to the U, where he really burst onto this scene. Love him as a player. I was watching, the pre-draft. Like Max Crosby calls him a dog. Chris Sims, former NFL quarterback, had him as his number 3 ranked edge rusher. Statistic wise, he's a top 10 pick. You watch his tape, the motor, unbelievable. But it all comes back to he's 25 years old. And even when he's putting up those big numbers, I'm like, well, he's got 2 years of grown man strength on the oldest of these players. He's going up against young guys. A comparison I look at is like when a 20-year-old in the WHL puts up a lot of points. People say that's great, but it's an 18, 19-year-old league. Does the age factor in for you for this pick for the Chargers?
On this specific spot, I'm not sure it does, because there are trade-offs, right? Yes, you're seeing a guy have his best success but across college football now, right? It's a lot older everywhere. It's not like this is like you're talking about the WHL or junior hockey comparison where there is 1 or 2 overagers on every team, right? We're talking 20 years old, where most of the league is still younger than you. That's not really the case in college football anymore. There's still plenty of young guys, and a guy like Arvell Reese maybe at the top of the draft is the premier example of that. But you're getting a more mature player, you would hope, right? Like just from an emotional and mental development side and physical development too, right? In terms of coming into a man's body with a couple of years of training. Pause. I think it's a great fit for the Chargers. They obviously need help up front. It seems like a good landing spot.
I'm with you.
Don't clip that.
A team that
Don't clip that.
A team that is looks at themselves. I think they have the third best odds in the AFC to go to the championship. A guy who can drop in and play. Like today, I love it. Next year, I love it. The following year, I love it. And then I'm starting to think that next contract. Is this slap in the face to offer him 2 years on their second contract? For the Chargers, it makes sense, but like it would not have made sense for a team like the New York Jets because they need to take a guy who they can develop and have for the long run. Chargers window is not that well. The window's here now. It's not upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can make that pick if you're a veteran team. But I just keep coming back to that age. And then do I have to buy his jersey? A Canadian first round pick of the Chargers? I feel obligated. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll get to more text 1-833-401-1440. We'll talk some Oilers and some more NFL. Look at the best players available coming up for round 2. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Also Twitch, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill, still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me, GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or business online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I want to give you something for free. A free roof assessment on your used RV. And remember, basically every RV is a used RV.
What do I get for my free roof assessment, Rick?
Well, Bob, we're going to climb up on top of your RV and take a good detailed look at your roof. Check all the joints, connections, and seals. Then we'll give you a written report so you know exactly what's going on up there. You should do this at least twice a year.
You're just doing this out of the goodness of your heart, Rick?
Cards on the table, Bob. About 1 in 10 RVs we see have something wrong with the roof. If yours is one of them, then yes, we're going to offer to sell you a repair. But we'd rather do a small repair when your leak is small than sell you a big, expensive repair when it's so bad you can see it from the inside. And you don't have to accept our offer to fix it. It really is free either way. So come by No Bull RV and know for sure.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
This is Sports 1440. Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wait, no, 11:41. Couldn't spin that. 1 minute after 11:40.
141 ET.
Well, that's true. Gosh, that's why you're the smart one. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. I'm getting some text here that Mackenzie's got to clip that.
No, I'm disallowing.
It felt like I was Shaq and you were
Chuck.
Oh.
When a guy's inside you and you're banging and banging.
You're banging them, the other guys.
Yeah.
One of the best little clips that pops up on
it's
the
just,
socials.
it's the way they cut it up sometimes where it's singular shots. So you have Chuck and then it cuts to Shaq and he's like looking out to the producers. Everyone else in the studio's like, is anyone else hearing this or is this just me?
That might be the best sports show out there.
No doubt.
When Shaq ate the spicy chips.
Oh,
I'm not making a face. Like, give me the milk.
Oh, yeah. I can really appreciate what the NHL on TNT has done, trying to replicate it in a sense, right, by bringing in some real personality types along with legends of the game, right? We see Wayne Gretzky on the panel, Paul Bissonnette, of course, kind of headlining. Henrik Lundqvist has been great, and it's entertaining. I do enjoy it when I tune in, but that group of people, obviously previously TNT, now ESPN, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So funny.
I would like to nominate Seth Jarvis for the future when he decides to retire. Did you see him last night with Mackenzie? Not our Mackenzie, Sean Mackenzie?
No.
Because he sprints off down the tunnel.
Okay.
And like a trainer catches him to slow him down. He does the interview. And then as soon as it ends, Mackenzie just drops his mic and sprints the other
down.
way. It was so funny. I retweeted it because I thought it was just so good. But good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, coming up next, Low Down with Low Tide. Friday edition of the show, of course, they'll be joined by Steve Lansky, and we'll wait to see what else comes up on the show. And then from 2 to 6 is the Jason Greger Show live from On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th. Man, what a spot to go watch a game. Great food on the show today. Wanye Gretz will make an appearance, I believe. We'll have Craig Button, Speck from Anaheim, Alan Mitchell, Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, and should have some more as well. Then next week, we have comedian Brad Williams joining us on the show, actually. I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be good.
Except he's a Broncos fan.
Are you guys going to fight?
So, you like Jay Cutler? I don't know what I'd say. Can't knock the Broncos right now. They're top of the division.
Yeah, but you don't like Bo Nix.
Well, he is the inferior former Oregon Duck. That's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Ant-Man says that Jimmy Eat World song got me screaming in the truck. Another flawless song selection.
It's a Friday staple on this program.
It is. Every Friday. Here on Sports 14.
Trying to send everybody off screaming into the void. Maybe you're screaming out of angst and anguish in regards to the weather and the lack of golf that's getting played, unfortunately, this time of it. Or maybe you are in a good mood. And as the summer progresses and the weather does turn, you can scream your way to that song all the way into your weekend festivities.
Yeah. Turn your lights on if you're in your car driving too. I don't know what the weather's like right now, but
probably bad.
It was coming down, and I think like a third of the people maybe had their lights on. So Throw those on. Husks texting in, boys. Hopefully the score stays the same in our baseball pool. I don't actually have access to the team. I've been banned.
Did I have to renew? I was under the impression because since we just renewed it, that you were still a co-manager.
You've exposed me. I have not looked once.
Gotcha. All right, Huss. Fair
Don't
enough.
hit a kidder.
Fair enough. Fantasy baseball not off to a great start for Fantasy Frenzy, but I don't know if you'd caught Connor, who's currently sitting number 1 spot in our playoff pool.
Are you top dog?
I'm top dog. First time ever.
I got to look at that.
Now,
too.
we're only 6 days in, so take it for what it's worth. But my bold choices of some Anaheim Duck players has paid off, along with the likes of a last-minute change to Frederick Anderson in the Eastern Conference goaltenders box, paying dividends.
But tonight you only have 5 players playing.
All the Ducks.
I got 9.
And I think some Lightning.
Darren has 11, and he's only 8 points back of you.
Well,
you know what? We know 4 of the top 5 players here. You're first. Nate, son of Mel and Sales, in third. Gavin
Turnick?
He's in 4th, and I'm in 5th with Darren. Now, if you scroll down, drops off a little bit. Declan's in tie for 14th.
Wait, Connor, I have like 10 guys playing tonight.
Oh, was that yesterday you had 5?
Yeah, probably. I've got 5 Ducks and 4 Lightning.
Oh, you're loaded. Okay, as I continue to scroll down, Country Mac and Kevin Carius tied in the 24th position.
That's not a spot you want to be, Mac.
Maybe not ideal. And then Huff and Puff, Andrew Walker is in 28 points tied for 38th.
I don't know who gave this team their name. Kevin's Tomato Garden. They are in last.
Well, second last. Tied for last?
Tied for last. T last.
Lance says, I wish I was driving. Oh, Lance. Sorry to hear that. We'll try to just keep some entertaining conversation going. Now, Duke, we talked a little bit about some of the players here that are still remaining. From our draft, we've had Jermod McCoy as a first-round pick, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety out of Toledo, first-round pick. I think Cade McDonald, Zion Young, Denzel Boston. Who are you liking here as we get into the nitty-gritty here, the second and third round draft tonight?
Yeah, I think it's obviously going to depend on what team's up and drafting to fill some needs and maybe to an extent best player available. But I definitely thought Denzel Boston was going to be a first-round pick. I think most of the scouting I saw on him were first-round grades. He doesn't necessarily maybe blow you off the page numbers-wise, but the size is there, right? And playing at a school like Washington, obviously quite a bit of good experience inside the Big Ten, even if the Huskies were terrible. He led the team in receiving yards. So that's when it comes out to me, and I'm always a little more inclined towards the offensive players, of course, with the fantasy perspective that we all hold. No, really, like we talk so much, running back perspective, it was kind of a 2-guy draft, and we saw Jadarian Price go at the end of the first round to the Seahawks, as many, including us, did predict in our final mock yesterday too. But then after that, I think Caden McDonald and Zion Young, maybe as a nose tackle and an edge rusher, kind of jump off as like the fact they're still there. I wouldn't expect them to remain on the board very long.
The one thing that it could be a perk for Washington is that, Boston, out of Washington, you get that you're eligible now for a contract a year early.
Right.
So if you have, the first 3 seasons, instead of getting that player option, which is good, or team option, that 5th year is a first round pick, instead you can be eligible to get a new contract. So I think, it's not ideal for him. I'm sure he would have loved the prestige that goes along with being a first round pick, and a lot of other guys would have as well. But now you are eligible to get that contract a year earlier. So that's a little bit of a perk. Dylan texting in, fellas, a break from the usual content. But hey, the show's called Fantasy Frenzy, so whatever. Brother and I went toe-to-toe with some Superstore sticker packs. Who drafted the better team? 5-man roster with a spare. Okay, well, I might need your help in some of these.
Oh, my God.
So let's just go head-to-head in the order they have them.
Is this left to right first-round pick?
You got, Mufasa versus Mickey. I mean, is it like just in popularity?
Is that Mufasa it is Mufasa.
That's Mufasa.
Not Simba.
Is this popularity or who wins in a fight? Because a lion beats a mouse every day of the week.
Even if it's an anthropomorphized mouse.
But the mouse, my friend.
He's mighty.
He's Mickey.
He's Mickey and he's mighty.
He's the king of Disneyland.
I mean, come on, Mufasa.
So we're talking in terms of a fight.
Well, I just think like in general character, like I get Mickey Mouse as the historical relevance and staying power. Like, what does he do? He doesn't do anything.
He's in Fantasia, wasn't he?
Yeah. I guess.
Okay, well, I think I'm leaning Mickey in this one.
All right. Well,
unless it's fighting.
I would take Mufasa.
Okay, so we're at a draw. Goofy versus the horse.
The horse from Tangled?
Well, Goofy's Goofy. Have you seen a Goofy movie?
Yep. Really good. So that horse, he's got some real spunk, real attitude. I like his grittiness. But yeah, I think Goofy probably takes that one.
So now the third matchup is Ratatouille versus Timon, I believe.
Yeah.
Is his name Remy?
Remy.
His name's not Ratatouille.
No, Ratatouille.
But it was named after the dish. Yeah.
I'm
going to go Timon.
This is a tough one. I like Timon. Smart alecky. Good wit. But Remy, I mean, the culinary skills, like trump. Timon eats bugs. Bang. Timon eats bugs.
All right.
Grubs.
So you're going Timon?
No, I'm taking Remy.
Okay.
Give me Remy.
See, if there was a natural disaster, Timon's going to thrive. Remy has high taste, and maybe not.
Right.
Now, Nemo versus Squirt. Both from Finding Nemo?
The baby turtle from Finding Nemo. See, so obviously Nemo is the primary character.
He's got that deficiency.
He's got a little bit of a clipped wing there. Not the best situational awareness. If we're talking game planning wise.
Yeah.
The calm, cool, collected nature of the turtle and the environment in which he's a lot of support from the rest of the posse. I think I like Squirt.
Yeah, like Nemo's dad just lost him.
Yeah. And like
he's a liability.
Nemo gives into peer pressure, got goaded into going and trying to touch the boat. Like, I think there's character concerns there.
Yeah, for sure. Squirt, laid back attitude. I love it. And then the final one would be
Bagheera.
That's from Jungle Book?
Oh, yeah.
Versus Donald.
Yeah, give me Bagheera. He's a panther. He's badass. And he's kind of the stern father figure to Mowgli, whereas Baloo's more like the fun uncle. So I like Bagheera.
I'm a fan of Donald, but like Donald to me is kind of like Mickey. Like he's an icon.
Yeah, but
has his time passed.
But they're just riding on icon status.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I'm not here for that.
Like,
Donald, he wasn't even in any funny skits or thing.
Well, he was Scrooge McDuck, wasn't he? Or was that was Scrooge?
That's a different character.
Yeah. He was in that, though, as someone else, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
Mickey had Timmy, too. Timmy O'Toole in that Christmas movie.
This is relevant because this is like a Disney pack thing, whatever. I don't even know what these are. They're trading cards. The Looney Tunes are way better than Mickey Mouse and crew.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, give me Bugs and Sylvester and Foghorn Cleghorn and all that group over Mickey and Donald and Goofy.
And Pluto?
Pluto is a dog, which so is Goofy.
When you go to Looney Tune Land, let me know.
Michael Jordan went to Looney Tune Land.
All that Michael did for that franchise was diminished by LeBron.
What?
Tell me I'm wrong.
What?
Space Jam 2?
Like LeBron tore down the castle that MJ built in the in the Space Jam atmosphere.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's my only knock on LeBron, that and the decision.
Yeah, but that's not Looney Tunes' fault. That's LeBron's fault.
They okayed it. They made it happen.
It's LeBron's fault. And are these like bonus picks on the end? The adult turtle from Finding Nemo and then what's his name from Little Mermaid? The crab. Sebastian.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. Actually.
He's awesome. I'll take Sebastian there. I don't know if the turtle will pass a drug test.
The baby turtle?
No, the adult turtle.
Oh, I gotta scroll down here. Yeah, you're right. He won't. But if it's like modern day rules, a lot of leagues don't test for weed anymore.
Good point.
So he might get through it. And you're telling me that Sebastian doesn't like to have a little on the weekend? You know he's listening to tunes and
some Rasta music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big Bob Marley guy.
That's like the team I would chill with. Just those
what
two.
I like about Sebastian? Talented vocalist. Kiss the Girl.
Is that the song he sings?
Yeah, like when Eric and Ariel are in the...
Who sings Under the Sea?
Also him.
Oh, yeah. He blows that away. I guess long story short, I think I'm taking the top team, the Mickey team. Because as Ant-Man points out, he was also a wizard. What's Mufasa going to do when he casts a fireball?
Eat it.
And then die. Because that's what he does.
Overall, I think I'd take the bottom team, but it's pretty close balanced overall because I think back and forth, in round to round, I liked one team more than the next.
What happened to Mufasa in the movie?
He died. Well, he was murdered.
Yeah. By his brother. Don't trust anyone. Stone Cold taught us that. All right, that music means we're done. Thank you for bearing with us as we got through that. More sports talk coming up next with Alan Mitchell, Declan Kruger. Then we got Gregor from 2 till 6, then pregame coverage with Andrew Walker from 6 till puck drop. Enjoy it all. We'll be back on Monday to do it all over again. But before we hand things over, let's get to one final sports update with Mackenzie McLennan as her internship wraps up. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Only available in the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
3 games in the NHL as the playoffs continue on. The Oilers are on the road in Anaheim. Puck drop just after 6. That series is tied at 1 apiece. We've got pregame coverage with Andrew Walker at 6. Tampa and Montreal duke it out at the Bell Center as they both split in Florida. Utah hosts Vegas for their first playoff game at the Delta Center. 3 games in the association. 76ers host the Celtics to start things off at 5. That series is tied at 1 apiece as well. Houston looks to bounce back at home against the Lakers. LA has a 2-0 series lead. Portland hosts the Spurs, and that series is tied at 1. 14 games in the MLB. Jays are back at home, hosting Cleveland. First pitch at 5:07. Elsewhere, Reds host the Tigers. Boston's in Baltimore. Twins take on the Rays. Kansas City's at home taking on the Angels. Seattle meets the Cardinals. Cubs, Dodgers have the late slate. In the BCHL, Game 5 is on deck for the Crusaders as they're in Brooks. That series is tied at 2. Puck drop at 7. Next on Sports 1440, the Lowdown with Low Tide, Declan Kruger and Josh Fenwick. I'm Mackenzie McLennan, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.